This is Ruski Ed, and today we talk about some really big numbers.
It's time to learn a little Russian, to cram words in your head. И когда эта песня играет, it's time for Ruski Ed.
In the last few lessons, we covered a lot of numbers, but they were all numbers that represent small quantities. Today we deal with the high rollers. Specifically, here are the numbers for million, which is million, billion, which is milliard, trillion, which is trillion, and quadrillion, which is quadrillion. So now we go from some numbers that are really big to some numbers that are very tiny. The Russian word for zero is nul, and the Russian word for half is polovina. There are a bunch of words that have half as part of their meaning, and here are a few. The Russian word for 1.5 is poltora. The Russian way of saying half an hour is polchasa. And polooberet is the Russian word for a half turn. While the Russian word for many is menuga, the Russian word for several is neskolka. It can also be nekatori depending on its place in the sentence. The phrases for today all contain either neskolka or nekatori. Our first phrase means every few days, and this is how you say it in Russian. Каждый несколько дней. Каждый несколько дней. Our next phrase means in a few minutes, and the way you say that is через несколько минут. Через несколько минут. And our next phrase means several of them, and the Russian way of saying several of them is nekatori is них. Nekatori is них. And so we have made it to the end of another lesson. This is Ruski Ed signing off. До свидания.
And now you should have a few more Russian words crammed in your head. И когда эта песня закончена, that's all from Ruski Ed.